Twitch a sex thing?
It can be. Oh, it can be. Previously on Basement Discourse, we just caught up on shit, didn't we? That was pretty much all we fucking did. We didn't actually do anything.
No, we did fuck all.
I don't actually remember what we spoke about, like, specifically, so there's that.
But just like we pretty much just caught up as if we were like old friends catching up since like last week.
Yeah, but I don't like Brady. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, but it was like we were acting like that.
You did last week because I was talking about that manga that actually sounds badass as fuck, and you were like,
"Yeah,
I'm not gonna read it, but it's
exactly." I don't like you until you make sure an anime happens. Just saying.
Just make it happen.
Personally responsible for pushing
Correct.
the show.
You control Japan. The whole nation.
The whole nation. I don't want that responsibility.
So welcome to Basement Discourse, where I am the gamer man, the guy that's drinking out of his sippy cup. That's your weeb. And down there, the green man, he's bald.
Why green today?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Just switching it
Trying
up.
to
I got
match
the
my
green.
hair?
I got the green sweater on again. You know, just I'm rocking that new sweater vibe. Haven't washed it yet. You know, just still crisp. Still
just getting the crust in.
Yeah. You
Can't
need
wash
that.
it. Can't wash it till he's done at least 3 lawn mows.
Yeah, that's how it turned green. It was a white
Ingrained
sweater
in the
when he
sense.
first got it.
I got this a week and a half ago. I've done 3 lawnmowers. So.
Fuck.
He could have bought it that morning and it would have 3 lawn mow. He's mowed his lawn 3 times today.
No, because it's raining, and I've been very upset about that. But I did give it a good old wash the other day. I got the old soap out, gave it a scrub like it's
the lawn.
Like you
The
do.
lawn.
No, mate. No,
He's
mate.
out there fucking sudsing up his lawn.
Hands and knees, wax on, wax
Sparkly
off.
clean, sparkly clean. No, I'm talking about my mower. Gave it the good old wax on, wax
Oh,
off.
dude. You do more than hose it?
I don't even hose it. There's
Absolutely.
just like dried grass all over my mower.
I
That's
do
a
it, like,
straight
every
up
third
fucking
time.
fire hazard.
Man,
Every like 3rd time, I just hose that shit off.
I get the tire shine out. And,
It doesn't even have
Spray up that-
tires.
mate, maybe your mower doesn't have tires.
Justin's out there with a fucking pressure like gauge and checking his tires.
Yep, still plastic.
New shock. Puts a new shock kit on it. Fucking
Suspension.
hydraulic bounce.
Give it those chromes, man.
He's just duct taped a Bluetooth speaker to the top of it as well to upgrade his sound system.
Bro, I'm down. You wait. Pimp my mower is coming.
Well, we know he's not going to get wireless headphones for when he does the lawn, so...
This is
He
true.
probably
This is the
would.
next best
He's-
step.
He would spend money on wireless headphones if it helped his lawn mowing.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. Lawn mowing experience only.
So,
Hmm.
not
Are we
talking
gonna
about
talk about
lawns
geeky
because,
shit?
well, I guess lawns could technically be geeky if you're a fucking loser.
Well, yeah.
You could put you could gamify the shit out of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Lawn
Lawn
mowing
Mower
simulator.
Simulator was not fun. I've got to say, that took all the fun out of it. Like,
Yeah, because I'm
No,
out
fuck
there.
To start with.
nah, it wasn't good. Wasn't good.
Yeah, neither's mowing your lawn. That sounds like a perfect simulation right there.
I think we could do a
That
scuff
sounds-
video on that later days. for
Okay,
sure.
we'll do
Yeah,
that. We'll arrange
yeah.
that. But on to the topic at hand. I
Hmm.
can't remember which one we were going to talk about because we got 2 to talk about.
We got 2 different ideas, but I think the first one was incorporating lawn into this topic was just a bigger version of a lawn.
Which is a
But-
map.
Grab.
The biggest of lawns, an open world.
Yeah. The true open world
The biggest.
is the lawn. So
Which bits
talking
you've
about
done and
maps,
haven't done.
yeah, which is in our instance all of it. We have not done.
All of it.
Yeah,
Every time.
0% completion rate at all times.
So I threw this topic into our document when picking up Monster Hunter World. Now, by rights, Monster Hunter World is a game that I should froth for. Like, it is a bit weeby, which I fuck with. It's JRPG elements, but it also has a bit of a like Souls-like sort of element and big fuck off monsters in that whole Shadow of the Colossus, God of War element as well. So what the fuck's not to like, right?
Yeah.
850 bajillion icons everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like you enter the hub world. I'm like level 1 or whatever the fuck level you start out at. And the entire hub world is like icon here, icon there. And every single person, their dog, their cat, their sister's uncle's scrotum, you name it, all has fucking icons above it. Half of the shit is completely irrelevant to you when you first start.
Yeah.
I don't need, like, one of the things I like about really simple RPGs is that they don't constantly throw icons in your face. You can walk up to someone and say, "How you going, mate?" And he's like, "Can you grab me a bar of soap from down the road?" And, you know, you can go on a quest. Great. But this is like every single thing has an icon. And it is so overwhelming because I'm like, okay, so am I supposed to speak to all these people before I fuck off and try and stab some lizard? Or like, what's supposed to go on here? And yeah, it's absolutely shithouse and I really, really don't like it.
Yeah. I wanted to like it as well. I jumped on I probably gave it maybe 30 minutes of my time, to be honest. So I didn't give it enough. I probably will try it again one day, but it was just like, there's just a mess. Like you go into a screen and it was just like so much information overload. It was like, what the hell am I even looking at right now? Like that's hard to deal with. So that plus the map plus everything else around you, it was a lot. So yeah, I get that.
I haven't actually played Monster Hunter. I want to, for a lot of reasons, for the way it looks in gameplay videos and all that sort of stuff. But it looks to me like, because did you play the old Horizon? Did we discuss that, Justin? The first one?
Yeah.
I've played a bit of it as well.
Yeah, it looks kind of like that, but they're not robots, they're real things. So like you got to craft your weaponry, you got to go out, you got to kill these things, you got to get elements of them to make better shit, that sort of thing.
Yeah, in a
it
dulled
looks like
down
something.
version of it. Yeah, for sure. I think it's
It's sort of a bit more like Dark Souls in the element of weaponry, in the sense of like you go to like a blacksmith and they'll fuck around with your weapons and shit.
Oh
but,
yeah, you
yeah, there is a bit of crafting and resource.
My problem with it is the same problem I have with Horizon right now. The sequel one is there's just unnecessary shit everywhere that ruins the fun. Like I like the idea of like, I know it's a bit boring to some people, but give me the fucking quest to hunt down the crazy ass difficult thing to kill and let me go do that.
Yep.
And then fuck off with the rest. Like I keep running out of materials to make arrows. That's really fucking annoying, and then I have to go out of my way to get them, and then I run out of money to make arrows, which is also annoying because I have to go do shitty quests near the beginning of the game and just farm shitty animals that I can kill with melee to get their shards to make stuff. Drives me nuts. The other thing that drives me nuts is save points that are irritating. Souls was different because it was part of the game, like Elden Ring. All that sort of stuff like that. That's a specific element built into the game for a good reason. But when it's like a full open world game and you have to like fast travel, it shits me when there's 1 billion of them and you kind of can't get anywhere without getting each one, and you run and it's like been 20 meters since the last one, but you got to stop at the new one and press save. Then you got to run to the next one and press save. It's really fucking annoying.
I kind of miss the old days of like PC gaming where you just hit F5 and it just quick saved for you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, who gives a fuck?
The quick save was valuable. The only time that it really fucked up was when you quick saved over like your most recent quick save and you shoot yourself in the foot with like a forever fall or something. That can really come back to bite you on the ass real quick.
But that's not a thing that
frequently saved.
Really bothered like PC
good
gamers
gamers?
Because it because good gamers make terrible mistakes all the fucking time. Trust me, I know good gamers. They're not me, but I know them. But like on PC, quite often, quick save would just create a new save. Like I have games
That'd be
where I have
nice.
like 600 plus save files.
Yeah.
Like,
I realized when I downloaded Skyrim for some future content that might be coming to you all soon. I
depending
had
how our editor goes.
a shite ton of saves because apparently I'd hit quick save every time, and it was a lot. Like this thing has been weighing my PlayStation down for a long time without me realizing because Skyrim wasn't installed, so I couldn't even see the fucking save.
To be
Yeah.
quite honest, though, those save files are not that large.
Unless you have 800.
Well, I can actually tell you how. Like, there are a few kilobytes per save file.
Okay.
So they shouldn't actually be all that bad.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
But yeah, so I do miss those days, and I fucking hate how a lot of, I think it's like the newer console generation has really brought around the autosave mechanics and the whole you've got to reach a certain checkpoint, for lack of a better word, to create save points, and that sort of really breaks up an open world experience. And I think one of the games that has handled all of those elements really well, whether you love or hate the game itself, would be Elden Ring. Like, it has a big open map. It's not flooded with icons, but you have clear points of interest based on how you see this map. And it sort of loads seamlessly, and the save game ability in those games is instantaneous. Like, you can quite literally be falling off a cliff and exit, and it'll only be about 3 seconds before you fell off the cliff that'll load that point. If you were still alive, it'll drop you at the geometry you were last at your alive point. So it saves so often at so many different points that you're not inherently looking for those grace points to be able to get like a save. So I think that's a really cool way to have approached it. And I think
I also
Go on.
just talking about the map thing, like the save points is like what we've gone off to. What I liked about Elden Ring's map in particular, you could play that game your own way. And we've all talked way too much about like different experiences with Elden Ring, but I enjoyed the drawn map where there was some things like that weren't directly obvious. Like you had to zoom in and be like, that's a fucking cave entrance. It didn't have an icon on it. Like you could like see it on the map and go explore it. Because I love doing that in games. And Elden Ring, for a start, doesn't actually hand out quests with a quest log. You kind of just have to find shit yourself anyway. But I really liked that element. Whereas like something like Skyrim with the 3D map and stuff, because sometimes a pain in the ass to see what was where. It was just an icon.
Yeah.
It really annoyed me. Like the drawn map looking thing fits the fantasy theme in most settings, and I think it's fun to then leave it up to the player to go, what is that? Because often, even not just a cave, like I'd see a spot I hadn't explored or something a bit odd where I'd be like, why is there a big fucking empty space there? That's got to be a fight with something. And I go there, and they're sure enough, sometimes they would be, and sometimes I'd have wasted a long time climbing a mountain for nothing. Because I tried to Skyrim everywhere in that game and leap up shit. That
Well,
you
I
can't.
think that's where Skyrim comes good, is that you have that icon, and it's like, yeah, granted, the map is useless if you're trying to find things via the map without icons and shit. But if you see a point, you can be like, all right, well, I'm just going to traverse there. You do that in Elden Ring, it's like, you veered slightly to the right before this point 6 kilometers back, so now you can't get back there. You've got to go all the way back.
Frustrating. And it's good to see the depth of the map as well. I will be the devil's advocate and say that I actually really enjoyed Skyrim's map, even though you can't see some of the features on it. I really enjoyed how you could see it 3D. Working out the height of something really helps, especially like if you're at the bottom of a cliff and you realize then it's, you know, you could do the Skyrim jump thing where you jump straight up, or you could just walk around like on a ramp of sorts, and you just don't notice unless you just check the map, like that sort of stuff. But I also
I think there's
really
a middle
enjoy...
ground to be found there, though.
Yeah, for sure. One of the main things I enjoy about Skyrim's map is when you've finished with any of the dungeons or caves or whatever, just the cleared with the tick.
Yeah,
that
is
makes
very
me so
good.
happy.
Yeah,
Makes me so happy
Horizon
to have that.
does
The finisher.
so, like grade icons for stuff you haven't gotten to yet, but you've gone near it. And then for ones that are like task items, they're like blue and then they go green. So it's like,
Yeah, the completionist in me really enjoys knowing that if I've been in something and I come out and it doesn't say clear, then I'm like, all right, there's still something in there. I'm gonna go back
Your
in
wife
there.
hold up a flag for you every time, or what?
He's never cleared that cave.
That's true.
Um,
Just come in.
yeah, he just comes in and leaves.
Wow.
And the award for getting bleeped this episode goes to me.
Well, you know, it's about time.
Yeah,
But, like, I
true.
think between Elden Ring and Skyrim, I think they're both different examples of how you can do a map well.
Yeah.
I think one other element that Skyrim does really well is the fact that quest markers can be turned on and off based on the quest that you're doing, so you're
Yeah.
not flooded with markers.
Yeah, because with the amount of quests you can pick up on Skyrim, you can easily pick up 30 quests, like at any given moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Easily. Like,
Yeah.
I think I almost immediately had that many. And if you have all of those markers like on your map, and you're just looking at your little
The compass.
yeah, your compass at the top, holy crap, that's a mess.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you're just looking at that, it's just an absolute mess. So
Yeah.
it's so good to be able to just, you know, and I like to sort of flick through them as well. So I go to quests, try and find the one that's closest to me,
Yeah, I like a
without having to
quest log.
read it. So I'm like, all right, activate this one, check the map. No,
That's-
nowhere near me. Activate the next one, check the map. No, nowhere near me. It was just handy, like just to work it out. So that was cool.
It
too.
is where I felt I didn't enjoy. That was probably the biggest element of Souls I didn't enjoy. The rest I was like, this is just how the game is. It appeals to me or it doesn't. It's hard. Yes, it's fucking hard. Yeah, it's this, blah, blah, blah. No quest log I just found super inconvenient all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. Like, I get it. It's their immersion version, whatever you want
Yeah,
to call
it's
it.
the
But
it's the you need to pay attention thing, or else you're gonna miss something. And it's like, well,
But
that's
sometimes
fine.
it was a
except
barely
sometimes-
vague clue. It was just like a
Yeah.
fucking one word in a paragraph somebody said to you that I definitely skipped.
Yeah,
that was
that's the
supposed to
hard
tell you
part.
where you
might have
go.
skipped it. You might have had the noise turned down because your kid's going crazy. Like, you know, I don't
Well,
think.
the
demographics
obvious
for me.
answer here is don't have children.
Yeah, that's true.
Problem
Yeah.
solved.
There you go.
But so we've spoken about maps that are good, some that are a bit average, but hands down, I think the worst, Assassin's fucking Creed.
Oh,
Or pretty much anything Ubisoft these days. So Assassin's Creed, the original, I remember being super bothered by its map because it did this weird thing where if you did a mission, to get to the next story mission, you had to do like 3 side quests. And it wasn't like you've got to, I don't know, like help out Bill down the street. It was like you've got to capture, you know, 3 origami things off a roof. And or
yeah, it was
you've got
really
to
stupid.
go
like,
on a foot race against someone. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, the parkour races used
Yeah.
to piss me off because half the time I'd be like, "You're not unlocking the map for me, so I've got to do this fucking race blind." And
Yeah.
then it shit me.
Yeah,
up for all
it
that
was a
thing,
really
like-
shitty requirement, but that map
this
was
random stranger.
nothing on what they eventually became. So I think the newest one that I ever played was Origins. Is that the one in
the
Egypt?
Egyptian one.
Yeah,
That was
that one.
I fucked with that game though. That was cool, but I did get bored of the map stuff pretty quick.
I got about a third of the way through the game, and then I was like, "Fuck this game! I fucking hate it," because the map was just infuriating. I fucking walk 2 centimeters down the street, and I've got 68 icons on my map now.
Yeah.
I go punch a
It did do
crocodile
that.
right in the nose, 50 more icons.
Yeah.
And it's like-
So half of them are like underground or some shit as well, and you're like, where is this thing?
And then like the weird like RPG elements they tried to phase in, where like enemies have levels, and
It didn't work.
once you like enemies are a certain amount of levels above you, it's not like difficult. It's like you're just going to get fucking savaged. Like
Yeah.
there's no point. And like amongst all those things, it just made for a terrible experience in my opinion, because I can't handle all that like stuff on the map,
I
because
think some people must have enjoyed it though, because you know they've obviously followed suit with Odyssey and what's that other one?
Valhalla.
Valhalla. They've just built
I
on
didn't
those.
find that with Valhalla though. I thought the map was a bit better.
I think they ironed out a few creases on the map itself, but the gameplay and stuff is exactly the same.
It is, but you didn't have as much bullshit to explore, I think.
Yeah,
Valhalla
they
actually
definitely went hard on the
sometimes
numbers.
did feel a little bit empty. It was a bit odd because they were like, here is all of England with parts of Norway. Go.
Yeah,
And it
they're
was like,
you're a Viking.
like,
Now
cool,
go and
I'm just running
do
through a field
things."
for the next 20 minutes to get to the next forest to kill the next thing.
yeah,
And it was like, yeah, well, we wanted to make it look like all of England. I'm like, I get that.
like well done. Yeah,
Fill it with shit or don't, though. Like, this is weird.
that's my issue with Red Dead
Don't
Redemption.
make it to scale.
Oh yeah.
So
All right, we're about to make some people real angry right now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go shit on some Rockstar. I enjoyed the game. I didn't finish it entirely. I think it was quite fun and the story was cool. So I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it was too big, like, and way too boring between things.
I completely
Okay,
agree.
so that's different. Yeah, too
So-
big for a game, I think, depends on how they laid it out.
Yeah,
Have you played RDR2?
No,
So,
I have
yeah,
a
that-
no
whole lot of
interest.
riding through.
It's
Western
one of
Grand Theft Auto. Like,
yeah, more or less.
It's fucking cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy the whole Western thing, and like Red Dead, the first one was awesome. Not quite as big as this. They just went bigger, and I think they thought bigger was going to be better. And I think that's a problem that a lot of companies have when they start
Rockstar
getting
have-
bigger.
I think that's a problem that Rockstar have had since like GTA 3.
Yeah,
Every single game since GTA 3
you see the
has
map and they
bigger
make
and bigger
a comparison of the
maps.
map, and then comparison of the map, and it's like, well, this is fine, but it needs to have things in there. And I know that Red Dead Redemption 2 has a lot of cool little things that you can encounter along the way. Like, you can find the KKK doing some pretty questionable stuff. You can
Oh yeah,
actually
because
kill them, you know.
as opposed to
always-
like when the KKK are doing like just normal cool guy stuff.
I mean,
Fucking
usually
hell,
their
man.
stuff
the
is
guy with
pretty
the bald
borderline.
head.
It's just weird that sometimes you find them in this game doing some questionable things.
I was trying to just not talk about the KKK too much, you know, but that's
Well,
fine.
that's
fine.
really
People
on
know
you.
what
Yep.
they did. This isn't
They
like
don't
a
know what
mystery.
they do in the game. So, and yeah, you get held up at certain points. Like, you know, you'll help a damsel in distress, and then they'll turn on you and stuff. And you're like, oh, that was funny. Hey, that moment was great. And then you've got 10 minutes of riding, and it's like, cool, riding my horse, just riding my horse, still riding my horse.
Yeah, and that can also make like things like bounties really annoying. Like you go out, you catch someone on a bounty, and then you've got to ride back fucking 6 days to get back to town. And
With them hogtied on the back. Yeah.
yeah, and then they're constantly talking. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care, man.
And it's like 12 dialogue over and over again. So it's just, hey, there's Bumpy back here.
Oh,
Hey, you know,
Actually,
there's Bumpy back
it's
here.
not
For fuck's sake.
not directly map stuff, but it's similar. Following NPCs in missions to get to the same spot, and you can't skip to it or fast travel to it. even
Oh,
if
yeah,
you've
yeah.
Already been there.
Follow missions
And
are bullshit.
they are slower than you, even at full pelt.
It's worse when you can't actually pass through their space as well, and you might be in a dungeon setting and you can't actually get around them. So
Oh,
like
that is worse.
you're following them, and you're like,
don't-
I know where I need to go. I can actually see it from here. Like, you were just talking about the orb. I see it. So just let me pass. Let me pass. Let me the fuck pass, son. Like, and he's just like walking at fucking snail pace, and then like occasionally they'll stop and they'll turn around and be like, hey, so anyway, let's go get that orb. Yeah. Fuck, that's what I'm trying to do. Get out of my way.
The one
And
that bothers
Skyrim,
me.
Skyrim's so annoying for that. You'll be
It
walking,
is.
you'll be following, and then you'll bump into them. And they'll be like, "Huh? What's that? We don't have time to talk." I didn't fucking say anything. Just keep walking.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Fucking. I think the worst part is when they have like a terrible pace. Like in certain games, you can either like run or walk, and that is that. And then you're following an NPC that goes in between that.
Oh
space.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
if you
So-
run, they run faster, and you're like, "Damn it!"
Or,
Yeah.
like even when they just don't change, so you
Yeah,
either
yeah.
run and you run into them and can't go past them, or you walk and they're just like off in the distance. You're like,
Yeah,
fuck.
like slowly getting away. Yeah, I hate that. You do like, all right, I'm gonna do 10 steps of walking, 10 steps of running, 10 steps of walking, just to like stay the same distance.
I wonder. I mean, they would have seen it. I wonder if it's actually an intentional thing to try and keep you engaged the whole time, because like they're like, "Whoa, there's nothing. Like, what can we do to engage this this whole scenario here, guys? I mean, they're not going to do anything for a little while except for talk, and no one really cares about the talking. So, and they're like, well, if we make them walk a different pace each, then they're going to have to constantly change the pace of their walk, and that means they're paying more
Maybe, but
attention.
But that's a terrible way to do
It's
that.
a shit way.
It's like
Absolutely.
that thing that they did in like the like mid 2000s first person shooter games where everyone had to have like a turret mission, where there were mandatory missions where you just had to sit on a gun and
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
they were in like
Yeah.
every single like mid 2000s FPS,
Yeah.
and it was annoying as shit.
Some of them
Um,
look
Any
cool though.
ones?
I've got to say, like, I think it was. We're getting off topic here, anyways. But I think it was like Rising Sun or something with like the diving bombers of like the Japanese aircraft and stuff. That was pretty wild. But
Yeah, like some of
Yeah.
them are really good, but like
yeah,
a lot of
the fact
like
that they all had to do the same thing. Yeah.
I think a lot of it's to do with developers trying to just shoehorn something to freshen up or change pace with the story,
Yeah.
and it kind of sucks balls.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah, no, overflooded maps though, sucks balls.
Yeah.
I'm
Overflow maps
cool
have
with
got to
a
be the
busy
worst, I
game,
think.
but they need to have the ability to like toggle which icons are going to be visible. What's collectibles in games? How do we feel about collectibles that achieve nothing other than collection? Because you're a completionist, Justin.
I am a
But how do you feel about
completionist.
collecting like 85 totems?
Yeah, look, I have been sucked into this a couple of times, and two prime examples will be Far Cry 2, which, to be honest, is probably one of my prime examples of a good map, so that will be one of those. You hold it, and you can see it, and it's full active in your hands, which is really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so anyone who hasn't seen it, go back and check it out, or just Google Far Cry 2 map.
No,
It
no,
looks-
play Far
looks
Cry 2.
wild.
It's worth giving a crack.
Yeah. It was one of my first FPSs that I was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, this is actually well done. But yeah, the collectibles in that were balls. They were like little diamonds or something, and some of them were in the middle of the desert, so you would be risking your malaria outbreak just by getting there, and like you got nothing. I didn't even get an achievement at the end. It's like, wow,
So-
cool, thanks for that.
sucks balls.
And Black
I have
Flag,
no
Assassin's Creed
interest.
Black Flag was the biggest kick in the nuts, because that was a big map. You had to get to most of the places by ship. I went to all of the tiny little islands around the entire place and collected every tiny little whatever the hell it was. You know, whatever.
You got
Like,
nothing
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
diamond or
No,
whatever.
I like games with
Literally nothing.
rewards for
Bullshit.
collectibles.
There has to be.
so
There's got to be something.
Ghost of Tsushima did this well. So
Yes.
I think it was every cool little onsen you found extended your health. I'm pretty sure that was it. And for every fox that you followed to a fox shrine would give you like a...
No, something. I can't remember what it was.
It
but
was
yeah.
one of the little prayer tags, and then that would give you like a skill. It was like +1 to attack or something. I'm pretty sure. That could be slightly wrong, but you
I
got
can't
something
remember,
that was
but yeah,
worth doing.
every
it for.
every encounter was something that gave you
yeah,
something. in
Ghost of Tsushima
return.
was just a fucking banger
Ah,
of a game.
it was a
Their-
beautiful
their
game,
next
man.
one is just gonna be. It was the right amount of like collectible shit, extra shit you could do if you wanted to. You can make the game easy or hard depending on how much you went around collecting. You know, certain
that was
abilities.
a good map. That was a pretty reasonable.
Learning
map to
sword
look at as
abilities.
well.
That was great. You did it by killing old sword masters and learning their shit.
And
was
something that was
amazing.
really cool that they incorporated into sort of the map, but sort of more of a directional thing, is in your quest, if you had a quest that you were following, the wind would flow in that direction, which was cool.
Yeah,
and the weather
that
would
was
change
the
and
coolest
stuff.
shit
Like,
I'd ever seen in
holy
the game.
heck, very
The wind
you know,
itself, like the trees and everything, would just like blow the way you had to go when you changed.
So it
pretty
wasn't
cool.
a very
quests in your
clear
quest log.
pointer pointing like,
Yeah,
hey,
it wasn't direct.
this guy right
it
here,
wasn't
kill
like
this
a
guy.
line. It was, it was very fucking cool. I enjoyed that. And just to point that out, Horizon had I spoke to you guys about it, I think in message. They had a little Easter egg of it.
The fox that you can't kill.
Yeah, so Horizon has a lot of wildlife running around. Killing them is, you can do it. Mostly you get items that'll extend your item bag capacity. It's not that big a deal.
Oh, so like Ubisoft. Like
yeah,
all
so
their
if you
Far
go
Cry games.
far enough,
Yeah.
like later campsites and settlements, you can just buy those resources from the people. So like,
I'm just
not
picturing,
fucking
like-
hunting 80 foxes when I can just buy the bones later. But there was this one fox, and it like ran in front of me as I was running along a path, and I was like, okay, I'll just shoot it. Fuck it, it's in there, and it did nothing.
Why not?
Like the bleed animation happened, and I was like, the fuck. So I like followed
Brady
this
actually
thing.
hit something.
Yeah. I scanned it and it didn't say fox. It said nothing. And I was like, okay, I'm following this fucking thing. So I like followed it and it went to a little fox shrine, and then the scan changed to Inari instead of fox. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
That's
Inevitably
cool.
it did nothing, like you don't get anything for it, but I thought it was still,
I-
that was such a cool little wink
Mhm.
because that was just fun.
I
That's
honestly
awesome.
think the best kinds of Easter eggs, though, are the ones that they don't give you an achievement. They don't unlock the ability to punch Jesus right in the throat. Nothing like that. Like just a simple, this is an homage to something we enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and on that note, the only people who are going to get it are the people who also, you know, played that thing or enjoyed that thing or vibed with that thing.
For sure.
So if you didn't play Ghost of Tsushima, that would be so fucking
It's a
confusing.
very high
This
chance you wouldn't
unkillable
understand
fox took you to a statue, and then its name changed to a Japanese word. If you even understood that, you'd be like, okay, because then it just like wanders off into the bush and like video game disappears, and you're like, what?
It made me think though when you were talking about upgrading your baggage and stuff, and the Far Cry upgrades especially. Imagine the look of those bags when they're all said and done. Like you've added like crocodile skin to your like goldfish fucking eyeball to like all this other random shit.
100%.
You've just
Just
got
like
like a
thick
human
gloves,
arm
like-
hanging off the side of the bag and shit.
Horizon's big for that too, because it's like all like this weird mix of like primal and technology, but it's like we're gonna make this fucking wooden bow with animal bones on it better by getting machine muscle, which is what an actual thing in the game, machine muscle, and attaching it to it. I'm like, fuck, and they're like, yeah, and then we're gonna use like tendons, like cord from the robotics inside a machine as the drawstring of a bow. I'm like, fucking
just
bow
like
must
some
look super
fucking-
weird.
Some fucking horrid Cronenberg shit. Like it's just some fucking mutant. Kill me! Kill me!
It's just the Full Metal Alchemist dog girl.
Actually, now you've just ruined every anime watcher's fucking night now, mate.
Yeah,
But,
glad. That's
I
what
was just
look for.
thinking that like that whole Cronenberg reference is like a perfect tie-in to the guy who did Rick and Morty doing his own game, because that's all got live talking weapons that just are
Yeah.
profane and disgusting, and that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. So
Yeah. I'm
by the
keen
time
for
this
that.
airs, I think the next season of that will be out too.
Another one. Man, I need to keep up.
yeah, I
I
should,
did
but I
jump
won't.
onto it. Like, well, I know we'd said it was like, oh, it was getting a bit old, but I jumped onto it again the other day, and I was like, it's still good. Still good.
It is, but it doesn't keep me, if that makes sense. Like I'll
Yeah.
watch it
It
and I'm like,
does.
ha, that's
Yeah.
great. and then
doesn't
I'll
hype
put it
me-
down and I won't go back
Yeah,
for ages.
I don't miss it. Like the hype around it seems way bigger than what it is. I actually think Archer deserves a lot more than Rick and Morty.
Archer
They're
really dropped
A
off hard.
lot
though.
of seasons. Yeah, they dropped off
The
when they
new
did the
season,
Vice shit.
we just watched it. It was fast, but it is.
I just enjoyed
back
when they
to
were back
basics.
to like basics.
No, it is that.
Like when
It
they were
is
like,
that.
oh, that's how you get ants. Like that was the funny shit. Like they were the funny jokes because they would come back
bring
to it.
all this
you know?
back in clever ways. So they show you the guy who trained Archer and the reason Archer is the way he is, and they bring back all those references and all those like, are we doing phrasing? And like all those things come back because he has this flashback to that, and it was just.
How many seasons?
I think
did they
they've
fuck
taken
up
that
along the way?
feedback.
Yeah,
I think it's
well,
like
that's good.
3 shit seasons, if memory serves.
I think at least. I think it started dropping off at like season 6, maybe 7.
Vice
was
was
when
weird.
they started Vice.
Yeah, I think
Dreamland-
That's a while ago.
Dreamland
now.
was interesting because I didn't hate all of it, but I hated some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree
sort of
too.
felt the same with
Yeah.
Dreamland. Yeah,
Yeah, hit and miss.
And then
But-
what was after that? No,
Anyway,
I actually stopped after Dreamland.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay.
I never saw anything after that.
The next one was he wakes up and there's a whole season of him dealing with the new world, and then the one we just watched, which was very short, and it has the actress who played the voice of his mother has passed.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's
So they-
unfortunate.
I think that
She was
might be
hilarious.
why it ended up cut short in the end, but yeah,
Hmm.
they write it in. It's good. I
Oh.
recommend watching that.
cool.
I always recommend watching Archer, so
Yeah.
did that.
I can fuck with Archer. I'll give it another chance, I guess.
Good.
Do it. It got
But I
better.
think that kind of rounds out our show.
Yeah. Started talking about maps for a bit and then talked about
Then move to
and
Archer. Like, that's fine.
we fell off the map and entered the danger zone. It's fun.
then-
Yeah.
Hey.
Lana. 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 Lana!
What? Danger zone.